You sort of don't enjoy the fight, obviously, is what you're good at. That elation when everything's sort of done and you just get to really be free and sort of celebrate, how good is it?
Dude, you hit the nail on the head. From the moment I make the walk, I just go, let it out. I don't think about a fucking thing. So you hit the nail on the head, bro. It's just freedom. Whatever happens out there, and I'm gonna ride it front and center.
Now, the broadcast talked about even the moment when, a few fights ago, when you put the gloves down, and they talked about the mentality and all that sort of stuff. Do you feel like it's almost time to sort of just fully move on? I balance my life, I balance my fighting, this is what it is now.
Dude, once again, spot on. Like, I had that little bit in the lead up to this one where I was just like, you know what, I'm just sick of talking about it. Let my actions speak louder than my words now. You know, I'm sick of saying I'm back. I'm sick of saying, oh, it was really rough. I'm sick of saying all this bullshit. Let's just focus on here and now.
And did you watch the main event? What was your thoughts?
I just caught the ending of it. Fucking Carlos is a jet, bro. He's a jet. Just that ending. But I didn't see the whole thing. I was sort of in my own little world.
Now, I feel like you're going to just tell me whatever the UFC gives you, but is there anyone sort of you want next? You're obviously now starting to get a push. We're not talking about the old Jimmy anymore. There's a new Jimmy coming type thing. Is there anyone on your radar that you want to mix it up with?
Whoever Mick Maynard puts in front of me in February in Sydney can cop it.
And let's talk about your performance. Any critiques of it?
I don't know if he hit me or I wore him on my gloves. I saw him coming, but I didn't feel him. Probably could have kept my distance a little bit better. But I think I wore him on the gloves because I don't really recall feeling getting hit. I saw him coming towards me and I'm like, oh, that didn't hurt. So I think I wore him on my gloves. But I think the distancing I could have controlled a little bit more.
I mean, I guess you can check with your head coach. Sam Greco, is there any negatives of that fight? He said no.
He's a coach. He's a coach. Obviously, every fight you got to learn from. Anything that stays still in this game is dead. It's like so you just keep making progress, and there's going to be little things that I obviously improve on, and from the whole camp, especially not just the fight, but the whole camp. You know, you learn every step of the day, every step of the way, and every day you should learn something. And
people have talked a lot about like the emotional side, the mental side of your career and how you've evolved. How much have you evolved physically since last fight?
A lot, I suppose. It's all mental for me, man. I've always had the physical gifts. I'm super talented, but my mind has matured. And where the mind goes, the body follows. So it's pretty much all mental for me.
And finally, any beers tonight?
Couple. Beers and karaoke tonight. That's what I'm feeling.
What's your karaoke song?
Anything by Creed, I reckon I'm going to rip the fuck into.
Do you want to give it a crack now?
Can you take me higher? Yeah, let's go.
That was beautiful, Jim. Voice of an angel, my friend. Talking about that evolution from a fighting perspective, I was wondering if you could take us inside that a little bit, because maybe for the layman's, what you were good at was grappling, wrestling, subbing people. You've also got some KOs on your record, but you're really good at doing that. Tonight you went out there, grappled, wrestled, and subbed a guy. So maybe to a lot of people, it looks like what you've always been doing. So what have those improvements been?
Mental, bro. It's all mental. Praise the Lord. Just staying present, you know, like, even in that fight, like, a fight can go your way 100% of the way. There's going to be moments where you get tempted to either pull out or to lose concentration, and the ability to just stay in there and stay at the forefront of your focus, that's a mental thing, and I think that's what I've really worked on. You know, in that fight, it looked like nothing went wrong, but there was times I was like, oh, fuck, I didn't expect that, but I keep my attention at the forefront, and that's all Jesus Christ, man. That's just what the lessons he's taught me.
Did you know you were going to do the backflip, or was it something that just came to you in the moment?
I've done one before. I did one in Abu Dhabi, but they didn't get it on camera, the pricks. But I actually landed on my feet on that one. So this one I landed on my knees, but I tried at least.
The official, record will go down and saying you won via submission, via rear naked choke. It almost looked like a what is that move? What did the
STFU?
Or the SCF, or what did the Iron Sheik do?
Oh,
the camel clutch.
Yeah, someone tagged me in that too.
Yeah. So do you think it was the choke, or were you just like bending his spine in half?
No, I had I grabbed his neck and twisted it. That's what I called it. Nah, I had under there.
So it was the choke?
It was a choke. I was going to let it go because I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel on. And then I looked down, he's grimacing. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not letting this go. So that was another thing, like, being present in the moment. I looked down and I've seen him grimacing, and I made a decision to keep on it because I could see, and I made a decision. So that's a big evolutionary growth thing, or whatever you want to call it, right there.
Congratulations on the win.
Cheers, bro.
Hey, Jimmy. You talked about kind of the mental growth and that sort of thing. Being before the fight and here, I feel like we're getting two different Jimmys. You're a man with a few words on media day, and now you're an open book. So kind of what's your mentality going into the fight, and how does it compare to post-fight?
I'm always just trying to be authentic, man. Maybe before the fight I'm a bit grumpy, I'm cutting weight, I can't really be fuck talking to you. But now it's like, whatever, you know, you can have it, you have me. Before I have to be a little bit guarded, maybe. I don't know. I'm just always trying to be authentic. It's never any conscious decision. It's just me being me.
And can you tell me about the energy and your feeling from the crowd after that win?
Oh, they loved it too. I loved it. I love it. I love the Australian crowd. It lifts you up. As soon as my music hits and the crowd roars, whatever cloud is around you just lifts. It's a beautiful thing.
And on Media Day, I asked about Avatar. Did I see you got a lion turtle as well above it, or am I mistaken?
No, it's a food line. Here. It's a food line. So they represent like guarding and that Avatar tattoo I got with my family, that we all got a different sign, and the idea is that food line is protecting the family, you know.
Cool. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you, bro.
I got one quick bonus one. Talking about the crowd, I'd never noticed it before until this was the first one. There was like a "Let's Go Jimmy" chant. You were like a beloved guy in the scene, and I really feel like there was a lot of outpouring there tonight. I know you just touched on it, but like, do you notice the "Let's Go Jimmy" chants and stuff? And what does it mean to be so beloved by the crowd?
It's, when you say it like that, man, it might make me a bit emotional. You know, I just look out and I see myself. I'm no different to the people out there. I just got to decide what I wanted to do early on in life. I think Australians need to come together and stop being so divided. And you know, if I can get a chant and bring people together, that's pretty special.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
Thank you, bro.
me know when you're ready, man. Good.
All right, guys. Just to kick things off, we got a few little announcements to make. First of all, thank you to the Western Australian government for having us back, and obviously to Tourism Western Australia, led by Di Bain, our close friend. Tonight was an excellent evening. Really excited to be back. Performance bonuses go to Ulberg, Jimmy Crute, Tom Nolan, and Pericic. The attendance tonight was 12,543, and the gate was 1.8 million approximately US dollars for the largest fight night gate in UFC Australia history. Yes, sir.
Dave, congratulations on a great night, man. First things first, what stood out to you from tonight? And I know there was a little bit of controversy around maybe the card not delivering as much as others, but it was a pretty action-packed morning here in Perth, Western Australia.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the first thing that stood out was maybe a lot of cans consumed yesterday during the footy. No, and honestly, like, it just sort of felt like the night just kept picking up and picking up. It didn't feel like past pay-per-view numbered event championship nights where it was just like full throttle from the first fight. But that was nice. Like, it picked up from the very beginning and crescendoed in what was a really incredible finish by Ulberg. We had an excellent week. I mean, Perth is really a destination for our team and for our athletes. This is coveted. Like, when the schedule comes out and we start to plan where we're going over the course of the year, people put up their hands like, okay, we want to go to an Australian event. So it was really nice for everyone during the week. We also had a significant amount of support from, I mentioned TWA, but also a number of different, government officials. And so it was great to have that type of support throughout the week at the presser, at the weigh-ins, and then now here today. So listen, another return. We talked about it a bit. I talked about it a bit in the press conference. Like, our viewpoint, our duration here is we're playing the long game. And this is just a step in the right direction for the business in Australia when, you think you get to a point and you've kind of maxed out what you can do. There's another gear, there's another level for us. And I think tonight proved that almost the audition of the fight night tonight puts a lot of different athletes in position for, really sought-after events and bouts in the future. Who knows, including shortly after next weekend.
In the States, sometimes, the crowds don't come together till sort of the main card. Here at 7 a.m., it seemed like the place was pretty full. Yeah. Were you surprised the day after the AFL Grand Final?
Not at all.
7 a.m., packed.
Yeah, no, not surprised in the least. This is culturally how UFC is consumed in this country. And when we spend time in different places talking to broadcasters or governments or different sponsors, and people are like, wow, you have morning events in Australia. This is just the way that our sport works in this country, and it fits in with the scheduling of other sports, with it being, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon usually, and culturally it's what people do. They get together, whatever, barbecues, beers, Sunday afternoon, you get together and you watch UFC, and this is why our sport works so well in this country.
It was going to be a record card with the record number of fights. We had a few fights cancelled. Do you have any updates on Justin Taffer? Obviously, that fight was cancelled last second. A lot of rumours around his future with the UFC. Can you sort of update us on that?
I can't comment and don't have any information to share on his future. I actually don't know. I think he just had a sort of a weight-related illness, and he couldn't compete. So I don't have any updates, but we might be releasing something at some point down the road.
An interesting moment in the Jake Matthews fight with Neil Magny. Seemingly, the referee waved off the fight with a second to go and then continued it. Break that down for us. What was your reaction when that happened? And actually, is the referee able to continue on the fight after waving it off like that?
Yeah, listen, the whole situation was strange. And I think there was confusion where we were sitting. There were a number of us just talking through the particulars. I think in the end, and I think everyone's going to have a different position, but the fact pattern as we saw it was, arm seemed to go a little bit limp, right? Like, Magny's arm kind of came out and sort of flopped a little bit as if he was about to go out. My only assumption, and I don't want to speculate, my only assumption is that the ref assumed that he was going out and seemed to have stopped the fight. I think objectively, and to most people, maybe different people have different opinions here, but it seemed like he stopped the fight, and he stopped the fight, importantly, before the bell. Now, there didn't seem to be much time before the bell, and so that's where the confusion, started. Jake got off because of the bell. Very clearly, the ref thought that Neil was sort of coming to, or he was fine, and then allowed the fight to continue. So where do we go from here? I mean, Matthews his camp's able to lodge some sort of appeal, but this is all in the hands of the Western Australian Combat Commission, and so it's up to them to determine what the next step is. And honestly, I'm not really sure what the scope of the process would be and whether or not they would levy a no decision. But there seemed to be a mistake. Now, I should say that over our time in Western Australia, Anthony Grover and his team have done a tremendous job, and they've been very instrumental in the ongoing progress and regulation of combat sports in this state. And they've been a pleasure to work with. So the only comment I think we should make as the promoter, and by the way, promoter of both athletes, is this is in the hands of the commission to figure out what to do next.
Give me your thoughts on the main event between Carlos Ulberg, obviously, and Dominic Reyes. He was able to put out a statement win that makes it 9 fights in a row here. What was your reaction to it, and is he, in your opinion, likely to be the next contender for the title?
I mean, so my personal reaction was, I think, like everyone else, jumped out of my seat. It all happened very quickly. It was a very emphatic and very energetic win. He looked great. I don't know if you guys did you have the audio on of this earlier so you could hear Rob and Felder and Dan Helly talking about it? I mean, they're all sort of making the case that the way that he won, the fact that he's on, I guess, a 9-fight win streak now, being undefeated, and doing it, again, so emphatically, it puts him in serious consideration. So
we'll
see what happens on Tuesday.
Last one from me. A lot of the fighters have been referencing a card in February, this Sydney card.
I feel like you got questions for everybody here.
No, this is the last one from me. This is the last one from me. What can you comment on that card? Is there going to be a February card in Sydney? Is it a pay-per-view? What can you reveal?
So where we sit right now is we are aiming to be back in Australia next year multiple times, but nothing to report. Jack was making the case. Was it Jack? No, it was Jimmy was making the case for Melbourne, I think. But listen, we've got a list of really great, really wonderful destinations for the UFC and a variety of different arenas. I think, who knows? I mean, our stadium days are probably behind us, but we've got a number of really incredible opportunities to come back to Australia. So TBD, we don't know yet. Yes, sir.
David's down here. When it comes to sort of what state you go to in Australia, has it turned into just which state government gives you more money? Or does that play a major factor, or how much does that influence?
Yeah, it plays a major factor. It's a big part of it, right? It's about the financial commitment as much as it is about the support from the government in the promotion, assisting us with, depends on where we go. I mean, Australia is not a unique situation in that we have government partnerships in a variety of different places around the world, whether it's the UAE, whether it's Singapore. We were in Baku in June. Macau and Shanghai, a few different places. So for us, we need to make sure that we can put on the best event possible. Part of it financial, part of it support from the government in terms of promotion. In several jurisdictions about assistance for us with travel and permits and licenses to put on the fight. So there's a variety of different things that go into it. I will say that we want to make our decisions based on what gives us the greatest likelihood to continue to grow the sport in any particular region.
So there's no situation where you think like Perth might be, and I don't think this either, but where Perth might be fatigued from UFC events or anything like that?
Put it this way, we'll never put ourselves in a situation where we're bringing a less than stellar product, or when the ultimate product, the final product for fans doesn't make sense.
And of that 12,500 attendance, are you able to disclose how many were like complimentary tickets or anything like that?
Oh, we don't give away a lot of tickets. I mean, it'll be, it's like our standard. We've got tickets for our sponsors. We've got tickets for our broadcast partners. We've got tickets for, a few different groups that are connected with our company, but it's a small amount.
And there was indeed a price slash on tickets at some point. Is that strategic? Is that what you guys do? If it hits a certain point, you go, okay, now this is what we do? Because obviously the production and the fight night is always going to be top notch, but getting people here is tricky when you got the AFL Grand Final, all that sort of stuff. Was it a strategic decision by the company to slash those tickets?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say slash. What we do is we employ dynamic pricing in a variety of different scenarios, and in this case, it made sense for us to do so for mostly the upper level tickets to make sure that people got into the building.
And final one for me, when it comes to sort of, you come here, obviously it's a business, you want to make money. Mm-hmm. Production-wise was amazing. the performances were amazing. Financially, is this a win for the UFC this time around coming to Perth?
Yeah, I mean, I think I announced the largest gate in UFC Fight Night Australia history. So yes, 100%.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one down here.
Yes, sir.
Quick one. Talking about that, so much was made about ticket sales, pricing, but as you mentioned there, it's the largest gate for a fight night in Australian history. The UFC continued to kind of do stuff like that, break records, set records. But so much was made of that and the timing about the grand final. Mm-hmm. What learning experience has this been for the UFC coming to Australia this time of year? What have you taken away from this?
Yeah, it's a good question. Listen, I think ultimately what we want to do is we want to put our best foot forward on the product that makes sense for fans. We want to deliver the best combat sports product there is. Scheduling, as we've talked about in the past, can be a challenging situation. Sometimes dates work out for you, sometimes they don't. I think in this particular case, we identified this weekend, despite some of the other sporting events that were going on in the country, as a weekend that we wanted to come because it made sense for the matchmakers with the type of athletes that they thought they would want to put on this card. We talked about it a bit earlier this week. I might have mentioned at the press conference. I can't really remember, but the way that we've got our products set out with, numbered events at the top, we've got fight nights, but we've also got a number of other products, right? You've got Tough, you've got Contender Series, you've got Road to the UFC. Everywhere you look now, there are Aussies in all of our different levels of our live event products. Our team that runs the Road to UFC format, which, we're leading to the finale of that later this year or early next. The Aussies and Kiwis participated in that for the first time and were very successful, right? So part of the calculus, part of the decision that goes into, when are we going to have events, what type of events, and where are we going to go, is thinking again on the long term. So what I'm getting at here is, a fight night in Perth was actually the perfect type of event because it allows a number of athletes to be able to participate and flourish and sets them up for future opportunities, whether that's in, a big pay-per-view in Vegas or a numbered event somewhere else in the world or another fight night in Australia. So, if we were talking about some of the considerations that we put into what makes an event successful or not, I mean, we're all walking away this afternoon thinking that this couldn't have been better for us.
Is there a potential to bring maybe one of those other events that you mentioned, the Road to UFCs, those types of things? Is there potential to bring those things here?
Yeah, there is. One of the products that I didn't talk about was Looking for a Fight, which Dana is extremely proud of. Potentially a Looking for a Fight. I don't know. I mean, we're looking to expand and grow on RTU because it's been so successful. So taking that to different places around the world, maybe it's here. What we've got to do and work with the matchmakers on is what makes sense for the level of talent in a particular region that we're going to want to deliver and actually operate this type of tournament format for. So the short answer is yes, 100%. The other thing is, continuing to strengthen the relationship that we've got with other MMA promotions in the region, including here with Eternal, that can help continue to develop talent that gets, individual athletes from another promotion to step into the UFC and be successful right away, right? That's like a really important consideration for Sean and Mick and Hunter and Dana.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the event.
Hey, Dave. There's been a lot of talk about multiple Australian fights in Australia next year. Mm-hmm. City Kickboxing went 4-0 tonight, 3 first-round finishes.
I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, I ask you every time. It seems like no better time with the amount of fighters coming out of New Zealand to make a return to Auckland for a UFC.
I can't argue with you. No, you're absolutely correct. It certainly does. And I know that Hunter and Sean were speaking to Ulberg after the event, and like all good Kiwis, I'm sure he's advocating for a return to New Zealand as well. We would love to go there. The events that we've had in Auckland have been incredible.
You touched on a financial contribution from the local government. Am I going to have to go home and start talking to the council to try to get the UFC to come over to Auckland?
Yes. No, I'm just messing around. No, I mean, listen, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think there's been news in the last few weeks about some investment into a major funds sort of grant pool at, I'm not sure which level of government, but I think the federal government to attract major events, just like there are mechanisms in a variety of other places, including Australia. So whether it's concerts or, film festivals or food festivals or sporting events, we'll get a little smarter on that and make some decisions for 26.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey Dave, just a quick one. I want to revisit something that Dennis, you answered it pretty well before about the Jake Matthews and Neil Magny fight. It was waved off, but have you ever seen a fight continue after it has been waved off, then the fight's over?
I'm not sure I have. I'm sure there's a reference. I'm sure there's an example of that, but I think at this particular moment, I can't remember a circumstance.
Yeah, there's been a few examples in the UFC where they've made a mistake. Oh, sorry, but the fight's over and stuff like that. And you mentioned before that it's up to Jake and his team whether they put in a protest. And you mentioned.
Well, I didn't say it's up to them. I said I believe it's a possibility for them to do that if they wish to proceed that way.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, the adjudication of this is something that's got to be handled by the Combat Sports Commission of WA.
And mentioned a possibility of no contest, but also possibility of a win because the fight was over and Jake had actually won at that point. So, bit of history here in Perth again.
yeah. I'm not as familiar maybe as I should be, but I think in this particular case, it's in the hands of Jake and Anthony Grover and the team.
Have you spoken to both Camps and Magny and Matthews about
I have
that?
not, no.
No worries. Thank
No
you.
worries.
And well done on the event again.
Thank you very much.
Dave, I was just going to
Hey,
ask, hey mate, given that was a really important fight for Jake Matthews tonight in terms of his career and where it's at, do you think the referee, he stopped it when he had a choke in, so do you think he's, in a way, prevented potentially Jake Matthews from winning it there in that first round?
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's not up to me to speculate. I guess in theory, right, he motioned to stop the fight. The fight didn't stop. The fight kept going. And then the two outcomes are either Jake's going to win or he's going to lose. But I think in these types of situations, human error sometimes plays a role in this stuff, and it happens in all different types of sports. But again, it's not really up to us as the promoter to be opining on sort of what's right and what's wrong.
Given that he did momentarily win the fight, is there any chance of him getting his win bonus or no?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, yes, there is a chance, but I don't know whether or not that's something that that Hunter and Sean, who are here tonight, Dana and Mick or not, would have to decide.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, no worries. All right, guys, I think that's it. Appreciate the support all week, and we'll see you guys next year. Thanks a lot. So I say with a cough.
Sup, we saw how you're feeling. 4-0 for City Kickboxing. You must be on top of the world.
On top of the world for sure. Yeah, man, feeling good. Big camp for us. All the boys get the W, and time to celebrate a little bit because we have other plans.
You got the 50K bonus. You're also having your after party near a casino tonight. Is that bonus at risk?
Nah, man, I'm not big on the gambling, but it's amazing that we got the bonus. But we'll celebrate it with the boys and with their wins, and then I'm gonna have an early one.
And speaking of other boys on the card, you two debutantes. Did you get a chance to see those fights leading up to your own?
I did actually, yeah. And I was still in the hotel at the time that Brando had fought. He got that knockout, which was amazing, in the 50K bonus. So I'm real happy for him. And I was still going through the motions at that point, doing my thing and preparing to make my way to the arena. And then on the way, we had a look at Cam's fight when we're on the way.
Speaking of preparation, did you prepare that Yuri impression?
Not at all. Nah, not at all. I didn't prepare for that question. So, but I think everything is kind of just on the flow and off the cuff.
And leading into this fight, it's been stated that you've been flying under the radar with your 8-fight win streak. You're now on the cusp of the title fight, all but confirmed with a win like that. Do you think it's now going to be impossible for you to fly under the radar the way you like it?
I don't think so. Not with a win like this. And speaking to Hunter earlier in the cage or just after the fight, I told him that, I asked him to fly me to Vegas. He said, sweet, all good. So we're good now. We're going to fly to Vegas. And then I also said, then and there, but I didn't confirm. And I said, I will be the backup for that fight.
And nearly all your KOs have come from you being rushed. You catch them on the way in. It's well known about you. What do you do that still convinces these fighters to rush in and try to catch you when they know that's going to happen?
Yeah, I think every fight is different. With this particular fight, with every fight, I dictate the pace. I make them feel like I make them feel like they've got something going until they don't. So, and I knew with Dom that he would walk into something. He walked into I think it was the jab or the hook at first. He felt the power, and I saw it in his eyes that he didn't want to do that again. And then the second time, I knew that I would follow up with a 2. So he did that again, and then that's when I followed up with a 2. I saw him fall, and then finished the job.
Yesterday at the the ceremonial weigh-ins at the end, you had an amazing sign-out. But for the international stage, outside of New Zealand, would you like to explain what kefe means?
I didn't say that.
The comments all say it means brother.
Brother, it means brother, that's it.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you, brother. Kefe.
Carlos, you mentioned the backup spot. Break that down for us, man. Obviously, what made you want to ask for that spot next weekend?
I'm here to break records, man, and this is what I want to do. I don't think anyone has. I don't think from the top of my head is. I don't think anyone has fought a fight and then also the very next weekend fight for the title. That's what I envision. That's what I feel like can happen. So I put it in the air. I said but I just want to be there. I want to be there anyway at first, but then if they can make me the backup, that'd be awesome. If anyone falls out, then I'm there. I'll get the job done.
That would require you to make weight. Tell me, how are you feeling physically? Obviously, it was a pretty good night at the office, and would you be willing to cut weight so soon after just fighting?
Too easy, yeah, for sure. I can definitely do it. I am sitting at about 102 right now, and to make 93 would be easy. And you gotta do those things. And again, it's not like a typical fight camp and fight. This is for the title now, and this is not only that, but it's fighting a fight in the top 5, but then also the very next week fighting for the title. So this is different. This is breaking the rules, and I like doing that.
You told me that you'd be excited to potentially fight Uncle Ive, but of course a fight with you and Pereira would be really, really exciting as well. Out of the two, who do you think will come out on top if they do end up fighting and you don't get a chance to be the backup, don't get a chance to step in the UFC 320?
Yep. I think both guys would be massive for sure. Fighting Pereira will be historical, massive. He's got a big following. Everyone loves the guy. And finishing someone like him would be awesome or fighting someone like him would be great on its own. But then when you look at Uncle Ive, who's been dominant and he's also beaten Pereira. You beat someone like him, it just means you're at the top. It means no one can touch you. And that's what I want. I want to make sure I beat the best. So if you want to be the best, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And right now, I'm the man.
Last one from me.
I don't even have a title. I'm the man.
Last one from me. This was a historic night for your team. I know it was asked right at the beginning how you felt about the victorious night, but for City Kickboxing to be the premier team in the world and then to come out here today, have this many wins at the elite level, but also most importantly with debutants and new names as well. Break down how proud you are to be a part of a team like CKB, and also I guess the secret, or like, what do you think is the secret behind you guys being able to be so dominant for so long with so many different fighters? Because I think it's pretty historical what you guys have been able to achieve.
I think it's no secret. It's just hard work. Honestly, we work really hard. I think a lot of guys that come into the gym, they don't last very long because of the amount of work we do. We really do work hard. And at my age, I'm 34, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I can keep this up, because you've got the younger guys who are quickly evolving, quickly just getting up top, and I'm learning to adapt to the training and doing whatever I can do to make sure that my age doesn't catch up too much. But I'm 34, but I feel young. I feel young. I look young. But again, you've got the younger guys who are just they're biting at the ankles. So we've got to keep sharp. It's just hard work, man.
Just down here, Carlos, talking about the performance tonight and the fight. They were talking about it on commentary before the shot, that it seemed like both guys were kind of biding their time, waiting for kind of something to happen before eventually that shot was there. Did you know that eventually that opportunity for that shot would be there?
For the backup? Oh, sorry.
To end the fight tonight.
To end the fight? Oh, yeah. Yeah, my mission or my goal with Reyes was to box him. I put that in the air throughout fight week, but I'm not sure you've seen it. But yeah, I wanted to box him, and that was for Reyes. Yeah, that's it.
The last,
I got to think about my fight next weekend, so I don't want to share too much.
the last few performances had gone the full distance tonight. Doesn't make it out of the first round. How good is it to get a stoppage again?
Yeah, man. I mean, like, everyone talks about this fighting Jan and going 3 rounds with him. It's like I dictate the pace. I wanted to get those 3 rounds with Jan. He's a hard guy to finish, but again, I'm trying to save the body to make sure that when I get to the top, I can remain at the top for as long as I can, and the body doesn't have to take all that wear and tear. So I dictate the pace of the fight, and with every single fight I've been in, and I've never been put in any position where I'm going on the back foot unless I make it happen. So that's the mission with every single fight. Every fight camp is different for me, and I treat it that way.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
And Carlos, I mean, your teammates obviously did really well tonight as well. Do you celebrate tonight, or do you no after party? Do you go home?
I won't celebrate tonight. I won't celebrate. I mean, I will celebrate the boys. I mean, I'll turn up to Crown and do my thing, but then also I'll keep it light and keep it honest, though. You know, got to express a bit, and then just got to be careful of the weight. Make sure that I don't go too much over 110 kgs. But I know because I think I started at 114 kgs. This is only about 6 weeks ago, and I know I can still cut that weight. So I'm now about 100 kgs. I'm probably down to 98, 97 now after this fight. But I lose pretty quickly, lose the weight pretty quickly. So yeah, it's all good.
So has that been confirmed to you? Like, are you pretty much taking that as gospel? You will be the backup?
Not 100% confirmed, but
confirmed to you.
Confirmed to me. That's it. I just have that feeling. But the boys have, or the boys at the top have said that we'll fly to Vegas. They'll put me on the jet. They'll put me on the jet plane, and we're off.
Do you now, like, when you see Izzy now, do you kind of feel like you're about to become like the main character of City Kickboxing now?
There's only one Izzy, but I'll tell you what, like, it's. I think there's so much more to come from City Kickboxing, and it's nice that we have those guys to emulate and to be able to work off. So it's been nice to be in the background.
And apologies if you've already said this, but did you have a prediction for Uncle Ivan Pereira?
No prediction at this point. But I mean, I feel like nothing changes in that fight. And yeah, I wish the boys all the best of luck for their fight. And I'll be there. I'll be there to witness it. And that's the coolest thing is actually just going there and being a part of that event and just seeing it from my own eyes.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Carlos, can I just ask, do you know what day yet you'll fly? When you intend to go?
I don't know yet, but I'm here till Wednesday. I'm here in Perth till Wednesday, so I'm good with that. And I want to, hopefully we've got enough good weather still until Wednesday. Spend a bit of time here, go to the beach and enjoy it. And then I'll head home. From home, then I'll go to Vegas. So I think they might be organising a jet for me. I'm just putting that in the air too. From New Zealand, so from New Zealand back home. Oh, sorry, to Vegas.
And can I just ask your thoughts around the mindset of saying you want to back up, given that tonight you virtually guaranteed yourself to be next, with a good preparation and everything else? Why is it that you would go, well, I would go on a couple of days' notice and do it, when you've basically tonight guaranteed yourself time to organise that next fight?
Because I don't think anyone's done that before, and I'm here to break those records and just break the rules, man. That's what it's about, is doing those things, and that's what that puts eyes on you.
And just one more, I know talking to Submission Radio through the week, Reyes said of you basically that you were winning quietly, that you hadn't had any, I think he said you hadn't had any signature wins. I know you didn't sort of engage through the week, but I wonder now afterwards what you made of those comments, and if they were added feel for what came tonight.
Yeah, I think he was just being honest, and I have been flying under the radar for a reason, and that's just strategy, to make sure I get to a point, and because when I'm fighting someone, I'm watching their every move, and I know Reyes did the same. His brothers were watching my socials, they were keeping an eye, and I was like, these guys, come on, but they were doing what I do, and I respect that, and that's cool. So yeah, I think it just sets me up for this next fight, and I can see it. I can see it happening.
Thanks, mate.
Dave Shaw was in here earlier, and they're thinking about coming to Australia multiple times next year. But I mentioned with the surge of City Kickboxing's new fighters, Michelle Montague as well, the card in Auckland is no better time than now. What's your thoughts on the UFC coming back to New Zealand, and would you like to be on that card? Yeah,
for sure. It's always been something that I've always dreamed of fighting in New Zealand, and maybe in Mount Eden. That'd be awesome. Eden Park. That'd be awesome. And for it to come back to New Zealand would be great. I mean, it's honestly no different to it being in Australia, because I feel like it's pretty much the same thing. But they haven't been back to New Zealand for such a long time that it's due to happen.
Cheers, bro.
Thank you.